After helping 2,500 different restaurants, we've discovered something extremely powerful about marketing for both breweries and taverns that I think most restaurant owners completely miss. In fact, one of our clients, Screaming Goat Yard and Tap House in Houston, is about to have their highest grossing month ever with projected $435,000 in revenue. But here's what makes this client situation truly remarkable. They were only expecting 11% growth this year. Instead, they're crushing it at 25% year-over-year growth, more than double what their projection was. I'm going to break down exactly how they did this, revealing the specific strategies that helped them go from $205,000 in monthly revenue to $435,000 a month. And I'll say this before we start, their secret wasn't just running random ads. It's involved a systematic approach so unique that when we first suggested it, I'll say they were skeptical that it could deliver the kind of results that I'm going to talk to you about in this video. And to give you an idea of the results that I'm going to talk to you about, their store visits jumped to 746 in March, a 50% increase from February. That's new customers, by the way. Credit card swipes are up 54% with an additional 619 transactions, and they achieved with their ad costs under a 12-cent cost per click. Now, we don't care about cost per click that often, but when you're getting clicks for as low as 12 cents, it makes getting somebody to the restaurant a lot cheaper when you can drive cheap ad clicks. And so I'm really excited to share with you what we did for this client and dive in and break down exactly how they're doing what they're doing so you can use these exact strategies and implement them into your restaurant. And guys, if you don't know me, I'm Jace. I'm the COO at Dineline. We've spent tens of millions of dollars testing what actually works for restaurant marketing. We've helped over 2,500 different restaurants drive measurable results. And so today I'm going to share with you a case study that proves what's possible when you implement the right strategy. I think there's a lot of fluff on the internet when it comes to people that are not just giving you theory, but what they're actually doing to grow restaurant businesses. And so everything I'm going to talk to you about in this video and on this channel is stuff that we've actually done and implemented for our clients. So before we dive in, if you're serious about growing your restaurant this year, hit that subscribe button because we're going to release new videos every week showing exactly how we're doing this for clients, how they're crushing it with proven marketing strategies. Now, I know that a lot of people that are watching this channel don't have a marketing background. Our audience is primarily brick and mortar restaurant business owners. So I know from working with a lot of restaurants that your expertise is running a restaurant, creating amazing food, delivering great experiences. It's not so much in digital advertising. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to break down everything in simple terms so that really anyone, whether it's the intern at your business or anybody that doesn't have experience in marketing, you can even send them this video and say, how the heck do we do this, to give them a framework to work off of. So we're going to get into the video here, but first I just want to give you an outline. So first I'm going to share with you the Screaming Goat and Yard Tap outside of Houston, what they did to see incredible growth. Then I'm going to explain the exact system of how we help them achieve this. And then I'm going to break down the steps so you can implement it in your business. Sound fair? So let's go ahead and dive in here. So the key thing to understand is this, is effective restaurant marketing isn't about random posts or throwing money at ads on the internet. It's about creating a complete end-to-end system where every piece works together, from how customers find you online to how they experience your restaurant to how you bring them back again and again and again. I think a lot of restaurant owners look at these different channels on the internet as binary, so they like only exist in these silos, but they're all working together as one unit to bring customers back. And this is what we help set up for our clients. So how did Screaming Goat make this happen? So the first step in making this happen for them was implementing our chain marketing framework. Now, this is our proprietary system that we've developed after spending over $10 million million in advertising specifically for restaurants. And so the chain marketing framework is built to work for all restaurants. So from single location independents to large chains, we use this framework for pretty much every client that we work with. And so here's what makes this framework powerful is it goes beyond what we like to call like vanity metrics. I'm sure everyone's worked with an agency or a company before that like giving them metrics on clicks, likes, impressions. Those can be helpful, but at the end of the day, you're investing money in dollars to make more money. So you want butts and seats, you want more online orders, you want more reservations, and you want more catering orders. This is what your intention is when you're investing in marketing. And so this is what this framework does is using marketing dollars that actually generate revenue is to make sure potential customers can find you when they're hungry and looking for a place to go. And so in today's digital world, a normal customer might go to Google and search dinner near me and then check out a few options. Then go to Instagram to see what food they like on the restaurant that they're going to. Then go back to your website to view the menu, go to Yelp to see reviews, and then finally back to Google for a reservation. This is all happening virtually on a customer's phone. And if you don't show up in those moments to that customer, you don't exist to that customer. You know, I think that we live in a world now that restaurant owners have to understand that people are spending 5, 6, 7 hours plus a day on their phone making buying decisions. It's different than just having a good location. It's how do you make your restaurant best show up online to just give you the opportunity to get discovered. So this is what the discovery channel of the chain marketing framework is all about. And if you do this correctly, it's like having billboards that only appear to people that are actively looking what you have to offer, but it's just much more effective than traditional advertising. So this is New World 2025 restaurant marketing. And so once you have your discovery channels set up, then you want to also have your revenue channels set up. And this is part of making more money from each customer who walks through the door by maximizing all the ways that customers spend money with you. So now that they know about you, well, we have to make it super easy for them to buy stuff from you. And most restaurants focus only on food and drink sales, but there usually are other ways your business can generate revenue that you might be overlooking. And so for Screaming Goat, we identified 3 ways that they can make money. And those 3 things are in-person dining and drinking. So that's the obvious one, which is their core business. Private events and parties and high value opportunities that they weren't fully leveraging, such as special tasting events, limited time experiences that create urgency. And the big breakthrough actually came when we realized they could significantly increase revenue bookings for more private events. Their outdoor space was perfect for corporate gatherings, birthday parties, and other special occasions. And I think every restaurant would ideally like more private events because they're high ticket. You can make a lot of money in a night, but you're just not sure how we go about booking these or promoting that we can do private events. And so we created targeted ads specifically for event planners and people searching for event venues. Aha. Now they're booking events months in advance, creating predictable revenue they can count on before those guests even arrive. And so this approach added approximately $35,000 in monthly revenue to be added on that they could predict every month. And all we did was just tap into a revenue channel that wasn't being utilized before. And so this next one is a reoccurring theme on this channel, but it's data capture and tracking. So we say this all the time, but most restaurants fall short because they have no way to track which marketing efforts are actually bringing customers to the door. So 101 of the chain marketing framework is we use store visit tracking to bring real world customers through your door and measure campaign effectiveness. So when you run an ad with Dineline, we can actually tell you how much you spent and how many people it brought in. And when you track, just like you would track your P&L, this makes budget management easier. It allows you to spend more money on things that are working because you actually know which campaigns are physically bringing in customers into your restaurant. Just as you can look at your P&L and see, oh, these are my food costs or these are my cost of goods sold. You want to take that same mindset with your marketing. So this is what we'll set up for our clients as well. And so 2 weeks ago, we implemented our Dishio technology. By the way, Dishio is our proprietary software that we use to help our clients. We use Dishio in conjunction with our advertising to help Screaming Goat. So this gives customers through a QR code, but does something actually a lot more valuable behind the scenes is it's capturing customer data that they can use for future marketing. And so even in just 2 weeks' time, they collected information on 312 new visitors. This means now they have a way to reach out to these customers with special offers, event announcements, and other reasons to return. So we capture these contacts through our QR code system, and now they can continue to tap into those customers to bring them back to the restaurant. When you do this, this is like having a direct line to hundreds of people who are already like your restaurant, and having an incredibly powerful marketing tool that most restaurants completely miss on. I think people come in and out of restaurants. I ask restaurants all the time, how do you stay in front of people who come visit your restaurant and get them to come back? And they're like, I have no idea. Most restaurants don't have a way to, when somebody leaves their restaurant, how do you stay in front of them and just remind them to come back? It's just a simple change that we've been able to implement with clients like Screaming Goat to help them have a massive impact. And so let's get into actually like the retargeting from those contacts. So there are only really 3 ways, as you know, to grow your restaurant, which is bringing in new customers, getting customers to come back more often, or increasing their average check value. And so the chain marketing framework with Screaming Goat really addressed all 3 of these. This is how that works. So for Screaming Goat, we use meta retargeting for the private event. So customers came in, scanned the QR code, we capture their data, and now we can remarket to those people that had a great dining experience. Oh, by the way, we have private events. This is the information about it, and we can drive those people to booking a reservation with us. And so when you remarket to people, you can get incredibly cheap clicks. I think I mentioned this at the beginning of the video, but our clicks were like 12 cents per click, some even 10 cents. And so this is a fraction what it costs to acquire brand new customers who have never heard about the brewery before. I'm sure you've heard the saying before, like it's much cheaper to get more out of your existing customers and acquire a new customer. Well, this is exactly what we did for this business too. So by focusing on people who already know and like Screaming Go, we're able to promote higher value offerings like private events, which significantly increases the average revenue per customer. If we went to a cold audience and we're like, hey, we're Screaming Go, we do private events, and you've never been to the restaurant before, the likelihood that we'd be able to convert those customers into event bookings, very low. But if somebody's came in and ate at your place, like, and experienced the ambiance of your restaurant 4 or 5 times, now we go to a private event and say, hey, we have this to offer, the likelihood that we can convert them is going to be significantly higher. So this strategic approach to retarget is one of the main reasons they've seen a 42% increase in private event bookings, with events now scheduled months in advance. So they're like, I know I can depend on that revenue every month. So now let's talk about how you can apply these same principles to your restaurant, even if you've never done marketing before. One of the most powerful metrics that we're going to track, which you should too, is cost per store visit, which is how much you're spending on advertising to get one person in your doors. And I would say, honestly, for 99% of restaurants, this number is a complete mystery. They might know how much they're spending on marketing. They might know how many customers they're serving, but they rarely connect these 2 numbers in a meaningful way to know what their return is. And at Screaming Goat, we track this metric religiously. So by optimizing their campaigns for actual store visits, not just clicks or impressions, we've been able to drill down their cost per store visit to a level that makes scaling their budget a no-brainer. This is a big part of why we were able to essentially double their monthly revenue. And so here's why you should understand this. If you know that spending $5 in ads, for example, reliably brings in a customer who spends $24, that's a clear return on investment, and you can confidently increase your budget knowing that each additional dollar spent is going to generate more revenue. And the proof is really in the numbers to show what's possible when you know how to do this type of stuff. In Screaming Goat's case, from $205,000 a month when they first started with us to $435,000 projected just this upcoming month is a 112% increase, which surpassed their initial goal of $333,000 in monthly revenue. This gave them 746 additional store visits in March. This is an increase from 50% in February, not to mention 619 credit card transactions that we tracked, which is a 54% increase in month-over-month metrics there. And that's just on the advertising front, but for our software Dishio, when we implemented it, we showed 353 menu views and 312 new visitors identified, which helped us drive their private bookings up 42% with events scheduled months in advance. So The Dishio software helped in conjunction with our advertising solution to get them the best results possible. And we appreciate them putting their trust in us to help guide them to some of their best grossing months ever. So, in conclusion, here, what is the key takeaway for Screaming Goat's success story? I think it's obvious that growth just doesn't come from accident, it comes from implementing a systematic approach to marketing that connects every customer touch point to one seamless experience. And so the chain marketing framework, what I'm showing you in this video, works because it doesn't just focus on getting new customers, it optimizes the entire customer journey from discovery, when you first find out about that restaurant and that Google search online, to coming to the restaurant to repeat visits. And by implementing not just let's drive revenue today, but forward booking strategies for high value revenue streams like private events, you can create predictable revenue that compounds over time. And so now that we have set a baseline for Screaming Goat's story, they're just in the first part of the scaling phase. And so with proven campaigns delivering results at efficient costs, they're now strategically increasing their marketing with us to capture even more growth. So guys, if you like this video, please like and subscribe. We'll be dropping more stuff exactly like this to help you grow your restaurant. And if you're ready to implement these strategies in your restaurant, we've created a free restaurant growth calculator that helps you determine exactly what your marketing budget is and what you're going to need to hit your revenue goals. You're going to find that free resource in the description below. Anyways, that's it for this video. To properly calculate your restaurant budget, by the way, I'm going to leave 2 more videos over on the right side of the screen here. I'd highly recommend you checking those out, as it helps break down what I covered in this video today in more detail. Cheers, and I'll see you in the next one.